Alrighty, hosses, welcome back. And what I decided to do was not walk you guys through client.py because the way that a client connects to your server is the exact same as it was with a regular single-threaded reverse shell. So I did add some other, checks and balances so we don't get that many errors. But there's like two little additional lines of code that are different from the first version. And if you guys want to check this out, then just click on my GitHub link below this video. But yeah, this is pretty much the exact same. From the client's point of view, it doesn't matter if your server is capable of handling multiple connections or not. It doesn't care. It connects and talks to it the same exact way. So I'm just going to leave that the same. And what I want to do in this video is actually show you how to take this code and convert it to an executable. Because I'm guessing that if you're using this program, it's to help out some of your family members or friends with their computers. Maybe they have like a problem with something and they need your help. So I'm guessing if they need you, then they probably can't figure out how to run a Python program, or else, because if they need your help, they're probably a beginner. So it's probably easier if you take this, turn it into an executable, and then you just say, hey, here's a program, click it, and I'm going to be able to control your computer. So what we need to do is we actually need a new file. So new, and this is actually a Python file, and we'll call it setup.py. Actually, you don't need the extension, and there you go. Do you want to add the git? Whatevs. All right. So we're going to use a module called cxfreeze, and this is a module that you can download using pip or just PyCharm or whatever. And it's basically a way that you can take Python code and convert it into an executable so your friends can just double click it and it runs on Windows. So we're actually first going to import sys, and then we're going to say from cxfreeze import setup and also executable. Now another thing that I found, so just a heads up of this, whenever you are using this, you actually need to use Python 3.4. I tried to use it with Python 3.5 and it wasn't working for me for some reason. So I just switched to Python 3.4 and everything is going to work smoothly. So there you go. And all right. So once you have that imported, what I'm going to first show you guys how to do is later on, I'll show you how you can actually stick this on a CD, and as soon as they pop open the CD or put it in their computer and click it, then this program is going to run automatically. So if you ever watch Mr. Robot, this is how hackers actually infect your computer. It's a really clever technique, so just keep an eye out for this. They can have like some guy sitting in front of like some store, some like Walmart or grocery store, handing out his CDs, and you think that they're a music CD. So whenever you put it into your computer and click play, it's actually not music at all. It's just a program, an executable that runs automatically. So it's a really clever, but really like a shady technique. So guys, if anyone ever gives you a CD from like a garage sale, do not play it unless you like put it in your car CD player, because who cares about your car? It's your computer that you really want to protect. So anyways, include files, and we're going to include a file called autorun.inf. Now again, you don't need this if you're just converting it to an executable that you want to give your friends, but later on, this is the file that you need whenever you plop it on a CD. And even if you're just making this for your friends, it doesn't hurt to have this in here. So you can run it as an executable anyways. Just gives you some more options. Now, I also want to set base equal to none, because what you need to do for sys platform is you need to check if this is equal to win32. Because if it is, this base variable right here, you need to set this equal to win32 GUI. So all this does is it actually checks the version of Windows and says, okay, if it's a 32-bit version of Windows, then we're going to use this right here, which is compatible with 32-bit. If not, we're just going to assume that it's a 64-bit version, which most people have nowadays. So there you go. Now the last thing we need is just this function right here. We're going to call setup, and we need to pass it in a bunch of parameters about your program. So you can actually name it anything you want. You can name it like puzzle, cool program, the New Boston. Don't name it the New Boston because just, all right. You can name it anything but the New Boston. All right. So version equals 0.1. And description, again, the version doesn't really matter, but you need to give it this information just so it can run. And now the description is just a description about your program. So what like someone stupid would do is they would write like fun computer game, and they would make you think that this was a computer game instead of what it really is. And then, someone would see a CD and be like, oh, this is a computer game. I just might as well click this. Boom. Now they got your computer. Again, people, if you see a CD lying around, do not put it in your computer. Curiosity killed the cat. All right. All right. So now that we got our basic info, we need to give it some options. Now, the first option is just going to be build _exe. And this just means build an executable. And we also want to put include files and just set, oh, come on, OMG, there we go. All right, so include files, this is just regular JSON, set this equal to your include files object. So this is pretty much saying we want to build executable, and we also want to include these files. So you actually can stick this right in here, but I find it's easier if you just throw it at the top. Then you don't have to going through all your, JSON and stuff like that. So the last piece of the puzzle we need is just executables, and we're going to set this equal to executable, which one? Client.py, and the base is equal to our base. All right, so this basically means that we want to convert this file to an executable. So it's going to go in here, and by the way, if you like imported other files, you don't need to include those either in here or your include files. This is really just for external files, not Python related. If those are imported in client.py, it's going to go ahead and grab them automatically because it already knows from here. And actually, before I run this, I'm going to go ahead and create that new file. So again, that file's name is autorun.inf, and this is the optional file. And no, I don't want to add that. All right. So this is the file that's going to cause this executable to automatically run whenever it's coming from a CD. So auto run, make sure you put those in square brackets, and we're going to say open main.exe. So whenever cxfreeze takes the source code and converts it to an executable, it's going to give you a file called main.exe. So you need to name it that. And you can also have an optional favicon. So I just had a favicon because this is from my website. But I don't know, I just thought it's cool. And then it looks like a legit program and I don't know, more professional. So icon equals favicon.ico. And all right, so now we got everything taken care of. We gave this all the information that it needs to convert this Python file to an executable. What we can do now is we can hop in the terminal, and you need to navigate to the directory wherever this file is, setup.py. So mine is in multiple clients because I actually organized my source code from the first part of this tutorial series to the second one. Now, once you're in that directory, the only thing that you have to type is Python setup.py build and hit enter, and I'll show you guys what it did. So it said, I am gonna, OMG, you know what? It pretty much just built it. I don't feel like walking you guys through all that, but I'll show you guys something cool. All right. So you see, after you run that, what you now have is this directory called build. Now, if you expand that and you expand all these subdirectories, you're going to see, okay, you have a program called client.exe. And actually what I'm going to do is this. Since I'm not calling it main, then I can actually change this auto run INF. And by the way, whenever you put in a CD in Windows, Windows is going to look at this file first, auto run the INF, to say, what am I supposed to do? So then we say, okay, go ahead and open this file right here. And I called it main before, but then I got a little sidetracked. So you can actually, whenever you want to rebuild this, just select build, hit delete it, and then run this again. So Python setup, and there we go. So now it's built and it's automatically going to run client.exe. And what I'm going to do in the next video is I'm actually going to be testing all of this out on a live server. So all the server code, I'm going to go ahead, plop this on there and boot it off. And then I'm going to run one of these clients from the computer I'm right now. And then I'm going to run another one from a laptop in my living room, and I'll show you guys that we can handle multiple clients and control them all with a single script, one single Python reverse shell. It's going to be awesome. I'll see you guys next time.